All right, good afternoon, everybody, or at least it's afternoon for me where I'm at in Southern California. All right, so what are we going to talk about today? So I got several requests from somebody saying, hey, what do you think of the trailer ramps that are out at Harbor Freight and some of these places? I told them I didn't know. I haven't really been out to Harbor Freight to look at trailer ramps, so to speak. I didn't even know they sold them, but what I would tell you is this is another interesting project. It's another fun project. It's one that you can do yourself with very simple tools, as long as you have a way to weld, whether it's oxyacetylene, TIG, MIG, and you have some basic hand tools. Let's start with a 4.5-inch angle grinder with some cutoff wheels, some abrasive wheels or flap discs for taking down the welds after you've done them. You'll need a square, you'll need a level, you'll need some clamps maybe, and just some basic tools, okay? And then you can do this. I'm going to throw up some pictures of ramps that have been done. I gave a couple to a friend of mine. He's making some ramps for a utility trailer he has. And he got some of the ideas from some of the pictures that I had, so I just sent him the picture. For you folks out there, just take a look at them. If this is a project that you're interested in or you think it could be useful to you, these gives you some ideas, and the materials are not expensive. It's cheap. You can go to the steel supply yards. You can pick through their scrap pile. I had a viewer comment, hey, you can even get it cheaper if you go to one of the salvage yards. Okay, that's true out here where I'm at. The salvage yard will not sell to the public, and that's okay. It's not that big of a deal when it comes to wrought iron and square tubing for a lot of smaller projects. But if you go to the thrift marts and places like that, sometimes you can get mismatched head frame rails. They're going to throw them out anyway, and you can get them ridiculously cheap. Cut them up. You got lots of lengths of nice angle iron. Anyway, let's move forward. No long intros. Here we go with the pictures. I'm going to do questions and answers this time as we go. Here we go. Okay, just like we always do, let's dissect this thing down. Okay, let's take a look at what he did here on his shop floor. And you can do these right there on your concrete floor in your garage. I took this picture off of the web, of course, it's not mine, but he used angle iron. Like I said, go out and get yourself some angle iron, bring it home. Take a look at how simple this was to do. And all he did, he used angle iron for the whole thing. And he just laid it out. Now, I always tell you, I always preach, tack weld first. Don't just jump in there and start doing a bunch of welding. Okay, tack weld everything. That way you don't need to worry about warping. You don't need to worry if you made an error about cutting off long welds and things like that. So tack weld it. Make sure everything stays square. Use your square, use your level or whatever. Square would work better for this, of course. And you can go zip right along and you can make these fast. Now let's take a look at another one and let's discuss it. Okay, so in this one here, what he did, this is the back of a trailer. He made it so it folds down like on hinges. It's hard to see because if I blow it up anymore, it's going to get too fuzzy and distorted. But you can see right up there where he has hinges welded on to the frame that he made, but underneath that frame, he has a similar way of fabricating it like that was in the previous picture where he could drive up right on it and it's got plenty of support. So this is another way of doing it. He put handles on the side and you'll see up in front when you get up close on the right to where that license plate is, he has a tab sticking out with a hole. And I'm sure what that's for is when he pulls this thing and flips it straight up and down, he can drop a pin. And then that way it secures the gate or this drop down, gate and ramp. It secures it to the trailer for safety's sake. But you can pause this, take a look at this. You can tweak it, make it to your own satisfaction. This is just another way of doing it. If you have a utility trailer, you can do it this way, or you can do the independent ramps like in the previous picture and just slide them up onto the bed of it itself, and you don't have to do it this way with hinges. This is where the decision point is what do you want to do with your trailer? Some people don't want the big tall gate sticking up. Other people don't mind. There's a lot of gardeners and stuff that use mobile tractors and mobile lawnmowers, and they just drive them up and onto the flatbed and off. Okay, so let's switch pictures. Let's talk some more about the other ones. One moment. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Now, the part in particular that I wanted to show everybody, and let's take a look at, you've made these ramps, that's fine. And then people go, well, gee, I don't know how I want to, put this onto the bed of my trailer. And I'm like, okay, well, here what this guy did, if you take a very close look, he used a piece of channel steel and he welded it to that back bumper area of this trailer. And then these ramps set down on into that piece of channel, because he welded a piece of angle iron up there where that part of that angle, that V, sits down into the channel in that groove, and that keeps them securely kind of locked into this trailer bed so that he can drive vehicles straight up on it. You can take a close look above both where those pins are. Take a look at the pins on the bed of this trailer, and then look just a little forward of that, and you'll see where he's got channel steel running across the entire width of his trailer. So he can set these ramps close together, spread them apart, which I think is a good idea, because you might have different vehicles you're driving up onto it. So this is kind of an easy way of doing it too. But you want to figure out, how am I going to set these ramps on that trailer or on my truck bed, or however you're going to do it. But this is one way, by just using the angle iron and dropping it into that channel steel. Okay, let's change pictures and keep going. Okay, let's take a look at here. This guy, he painted these red, which is, you can paint them whatever color you want. But what I liked about these, what he did here, is you get that initial bump when you first start to drive up onto these. He made these little pieces of plate steel and made this nice little bevel there to where you drive up on them smoothly. I thought that was a nice addition. And you can see up on top where he used plate steel and he made his own hangers. Now, it isn't so much that he side loads. I think he just did these pictures to show you how he fabricated these. And he did a really good job on these. Now, he used channel steel. You can see by the picture to the one here, between the two ramps, the one on the left, you can see clearly he used channel steel. And then he used angle iron to create all of the little supports in between. So this is another good idea. I'm going to throw up a couple more pictures and we'll go to questions and answers. 1 minute. Okay, here we go. Here's just another picture. It's the same thing again. It's just showing you the same thing over, where this guy used channel steel for the sides this time. And he used channel steel to create all of those little supports that are going all the way up these ramps. Now at the top you can see he used angle iron again. And you can see again there's that piece of channel steel that runs across, where that part of that angle iron will just drop down into that lip. Again, he can space these. This just gives you another visual of a different way and different materials you can use. Let me throw up another picture. We'll keep going. Okay, this picture is just giving you an idea of some more homemade ramps that somebody did. Just take a close look. It'll hopefully gives you some ideas. Let me throw up some more. We'll keep going. Okay, here we go. Here's the back end of another one, another trailer. And you're going to see he used all angle iron here, nice thick wide stuff. But these ramps were not hard to make. I mean, take a look at them. And take a look up on top. You can see that there's a little bar, a round bar, he has going from one side all the way over to the other. And he's got tabs that kind of hold it out a little bit away from the trailer. That enables him to set these ramps right down into there. It'll hold them securely when you're driving something up on it. Again, the same thing I like here is the ability to spread these out or make them narrower. Now, what he did here, and you can do this or not do this, is if you look below each one of these ramps, he created like a little hanger or, hang down device of metal in there where he can take these ramps and slide them in there, and then they stay totally out of the way. You can do that. That's going to require more effort, but the steel is not that expensive, like I said. Or you could just take these and throw them up onto the bed of the trailer. Don't worry about it. But if you want them out of the way, you can do it. All right, let's take a look at some more pictures. 1 sec. Okay, what's interesting here, what he did is he took some flat steel. Take a look where those ramps set onto that bumper or that bumper area of that trailer. And he just came out a little bit, and it goes down, and then it goes back into the trailer, and that creates that gap where the hangers on these ramps can just set down into it. He made them long enough to where he can move these ramps closer, or he can spread them apart, drive vehicles or whatever he wants right up onto this flatbed. Now, I think that he did these, well, he did do these, I can tell, out of channel steel. So you can do them out of channel steel, you can do them out of just angle iron. It's your choice. This gives you some thoughts on how to make ramps. You can modify these, tweak them your own way. They are not expensive to make. They come in really handy if you have a utility trailer or maybe you have a flatbed truck. Either way, this gives you ideas. That's what these videos are meant for, is to give you ideas. Take a piece of paper, scratch paper, sketch out what you think that you would like design-wise, play around with it and decide what you want to do. Then when you're out at that scrapyard, thrift store, wherever you go, you pick up the steel, you get it home, and then you start laying it out on how you want to design and make them. The whole key behind this stuff is for you to get off your butt and get out there and actually make something. Have some fun. Use your welder. Learn to do your welding better. These projects enable you to get more experience at welding. And you keep at it and you keep at it, and pretty soon you're going to notice yourself getting better and better and better and better. It's just practice. Remember to spot weld. Remember when you're done to clean up everything with those flap wheels, wipe them with acetone, paint them, or whatever you want to do. I'm the Home Handyman. I hope you click subscribe, and I will keep them coming as long as you folks keep sending me the suggestions and things that you want me to talk about. These are things that I've made. I have some experience. I am not an expert in these areas, but these are projects that I pick that are simple. They're not hard. They're not expensive. I'll see you on the next video. Click subscribe. Thank you, folks. Bye-bye.